Good day, everyone. Today we are going to tackle about rational functions. In your module, this is module 2. So at the end of this course or this module, students will be able to represent real life situations, rational function or using rational functions. Second, to distinguish among rational functions, rational equations, and rational inequalities. And also you are going to solve rational equation and inequalities and solve problems involving rational equations and inequalities. Also, you are going to represent a rational function through its table of functions, graphs, and equations, and solve problems involving rational functions. And lastly, you are going to find the domain and range, intercept, zeros, asymptotes of rational functions. I just wanted to remind you that the last objectives is part of the answer sheet in the module 3 or in the third week of our distributions. So a part of your answer sheet of your module 2 will be the first, second, third, and fourth objectives. And then the last objective, this will be included in your third distribution of modules. No, this is part. This is you are going you find this in the first part of the answer sheet. Okay, now we are going to tackle about rational function. What do you mean by rational functions? When you say rational functions, it is also a function of the form we have f of x is equal to p of x over q of x. When you say rational function is dealing with a fraction, okay? We will have our numerator, which is a function, and we will have our denominator, which is also a function. Pag hindi yan function ang dalawa, ang p of x hindi function, ang q of x hindi function, that is not a rational function, but that is a rational expression. Okay? Okay? So, where ang atong q of x is not a zero function. Kasi pag mag-zero ang ating denominator, that function will become undefined. Okay? So, example, an object is to travel a distance of 10 meters. Express velocity v as a function of travel time t in seconds. So, magiging 10 meters tayo per, ano yung sabi niya, per t. Ayan. So, function as travel t in seconds. So, ang ating function is v of t, which is the velocity of an object, is equal to the distance we have given is 10 over the travel time t to determine the velocity um, of that object. So we have v of t is equal t over v of t is equal to 10 over t. Can represent b as a function of t. So sa ating table of values natin, ang t natin ito yung independent, okay? We have independent variable, which is t, and then we will have our dependent variable. Okay? So, kung ato ang i-let natin ang t is equal to 1, which is the time, so in seconds, so we will have 10 divided by 1, that is, the velocity is per second is 10. So, just simply substitute 10 over 1 is equal to 10 divided by 1, that is 10. Also, if we have t is equal to 2, so 10 divided by 2, 10 divided by 2, that is 5. That's why 5 ang ating v or the velocity. When t is equal to 4, so we will have 10 divided by 4. Kasi 10 over t yung function natin, which is kani. So, we will have 2.5. Okay? So, ito siya. And so on and so forth. So, pag sa answer sheet niyo is na yung mga inganing questions or in the future, so inganaon lang siya pagkuha sa ating table of values natin. Okay, rational expression, yun yung sinabi ko kanina. So, hindi siya function, hindi siya equation, hindi siya inequality. Okay? Just an expression. Okay? For example, is ito 2 over x. Pag wala ang timan-an ninyo sa function is pag wala gani f of x, yung h of x, mga v of t, ganon, is equal to mga ano siya or p of x, c of r, ganon. Mga function y, ayan siya. So mo ni ang mga ma-determine ninyo siya maguna, di ba? F of x is equal to, and then ang equal to man tapos expression ang iyang nabutang diari, okay? Kaya ang expression in the ratio na of two polynomials. So inani inyong timan-an kung inyohang i-determine kung whether that is a rational expression or rational inequality or rational expression. So pag rational equation, makita din ni siya nga mga nga expressions sa usa ka function. And then pag rational expression lang siya is just an expression. Example, ingani siya, ingani, ingani. And then pag rational equation naman siya, ang inyong timanan is na ay equal sign. Okay? Pero wala ni siya. Okay? Na may equal sign gapon ang rational function. Pero pag wala ni siya nga mga kuan, nga mga variable or nga ni siyang expression is that is what we call the rational, butang na to, rational equation. Okay? So, mo ninyong timanan nga symbol. Pag rational inequality, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So, mora ning upat inyong timanan. Pag nana siya, automatically that is rational inequality. Pero, tanawon dyan ninyo first, tanawon ninyo ang numerator o denominator kung naa ba siya variable. Pag walay variable, dili na siya rational expression or something like that. Okay? Rational function muna to akong ginaingon ganiha. So, naay equal sign and then naay function diari. Okay, for example, here. So, makita natin naay equal sign. So, that is rational function ni siya or rational equation. Pero wala man tayo f of x, yung sa function is automatically this is rational equation. This one, okay. So, wala man siya naka-ratio, di ba? Wala man siya numerator or siya denominator. So, this is not irrational. No, wala diha. None of these. And then we have f of x. So, naman tayo f of function. So, automatically, tanaw na to, in the ratio man siya na, yung naman siya numerator nga polynomials, and then napon siya denominator nga polynomials, and that is a rational function. Next, naatay numerator, naatay denominator nga polynomial. Ang polynomial katong na ay variable natin. Tanaw na to. So, either lang diha or both na. Pag wala gani both, dili na siya. None of these na siya ang answer. Okay, then natay greater than or equal to nga symbol, that is rational inequality. Then last, we will have numerator is na variable, denominator is wala, so consider as this is a rational expression. And then natay symbol nga equal sign. Okay? So equal sign, wala matay f of x, automatically that is rational equation. And then we will have lesson 4, representing real life situation using rational functions. So magiging ano nito, polynomials natin. So given a polynomials, and then we are going to determine the degree or to find the position of a term, and then what is the zeros, and then we will have the constant term. Ayan. So ang polynomial function, we will have the p of x is equal to a sub n times x raised to n plus a n minus 1 and so on and so forth up to a1x plus a sub 0. And then dapat ang ating a sub n is equal to 0 ito. So dapat dili na siya mag-0. Kaya kung mag-0 na siya, and then the next that one is, for example, kung 0 ang ating fp of x is equal to, so for example, 0x squared plus 3. So that is not a polynomial function. P of x is equal to 3 naman na siya. So this is not a function anymore because dapat na variable there. So dapat kailangan this is not 0 or the leading coefficient. Okay? So we will have this, pwede siya ma-0 basta naanap po yung kasunod niya. For example, 0x squared plus x plus 3, this is a considered a polynomial function kasi may x nga natira. Okay? Now, in how to determine, diretso na nako haka para dili na mo malibog ni mga definition di array. Okay, to determine the leading coefficient, leading term, and the constant term of a polynomial functions is ano yun lang siya. First is you have to arrange the degree. So dapat magiging unahon ninyong sulat ang pinakadako nga exponent pagamay ano siya. Ha, anahon niyo pag-arrange. And then dalaan jud ang exponent ninyo permente. For example, we have negative 2x squared minus 10x raised to third plus 3. So pag-arrange na magiging negative 10x cubed. So dalaon jud ni mo expon ang sign. Then, minus 2x squared plus 3. So, ano na siya pag-arrange. Dili kay biyaan mo ng negative diya. So, dapat dalaon mo na siya. Okay? Okay, for example, P of x is equal to 25x raised to 10 minus 10x minus 133. Now, what is the leading coefficient? When you say leading coefficient, ano po yung constant number or a number na nasa unahan ng first term. So, we will have this, after nyo ma-arrange, so tanaw ninyo unsa ang nag-una nga number dire tapad or ang coefficient sa first term. So, kung unsa may number di are, that is our leading coefficient, which is 25. Okay? So, dapat i-arrange sa daan ninyo. Okay? Kung dili ninyo i-arrange, tapos kuhaon niyo diretso ang leading coefficients, mali na mo diretso. Okay? So, dapat i-arrange ninyo from sa exponent niya is by decreasing. And then, a leading term, so after ninyo ma-arrange, kung unsa tong first ninyo di are with the leading coefficient, with the first variable, then the exponent, mora to ang ato ang first term. So, ang term na to. So, by ano na siya, kani siya isa ka term, kani siya isa ka term, kani isa ka term, o kana siya. So, kung sa tong nag-una, so that is positive 25x raised to 10. So, this is our leading term. Ang leading coefficient, so 25 mo na siya, ang coefficient ka nag-lead. And then, ang constant term, which is ang kinalasan tong walay variable hat. Basin, na mag tendency man gud nga ang katapusan. For example, kani negative 2x squared minus 10x cubed plus 3 minus 5 na tendency nga na. So, tanan nga walay variable that is considered as constant term. Dire kay, isa raman ang walay variable dire which is negative 133. So, apilon nyo ng negative kay negative 133. So, that is our constant term. Pero in this case, positive 3 man minus 5. So, inyo sa ning isolve which is negative 2. So, ato ang constant term is negative 2. So, next we will have solving rational equation and inequalities. So, how to solve? This is very, very important. So, dapat maminaw og tarong or studyhan. Okay, now, in this case, we will solve the x minus 3 over x squared minus 25 plus 1 over x plus 5 is equal to 1 over x minus 5. So, dapat, ang inyong unang buhaton is dapat kani mahimong single term. Kani kay duha man ni ka term, di ba? This is one term and this other term. So dapat ma-single term ni and then single term. Muna yung first buhaton. So to have a single term, so dapat kuhaon ninyo ang LCD. So what is the LCD of this one? So that is kani is x plus 5. I-factor ninyo, this is x minus 5. So pareha raman sila na x plus 5 man x minus 5. So dapat kani ang inyong LCD. Okay, kay kani siya pwede man ma-divide ani. So, we will have that one. So, x minus 3, x minus 5, plus x plus 5. Ayan siya. So, saan na siya pag kuhaan. So, i-factor muna na ganiya i-factor. And then after that, ang LCD to mo na siya ang LCD. Sir, saan ito pagkuhang LCD? Balikan na to. Okay? Napas na si elementary. Pareharag concept. So, mangita ka og common ana nila nga pwede kung i-divide na nimo kani siya divided by kani nga denominator o kani nga denominator pwede siya sa duha, okay? So mangita mo og least common denominator, least yung pinakagamay nga pwede ma-divide ang kani from ani. Okay? After ana is you have to x minus 5 times x plus 5 divided by this one is equal to 1. I-times na to sa x minus 3, that is x, ayan siya. So, pwede lang po nato siya i-multiply by LCD, pero kung ano yung concept ninyo is pareha atong mga ning agi, ninyong mga natun-an, pwede ra po ito. Pero in this case, pwede po ni siya. So, i-multiply nimo ni siya nga term, kani, by the LCD. Okay? So, by the LCD, pero I think the LCD of this one, so appeal na ni siya diri. Di-appeal na lang niya og LCD diari. Okay? Now, pag LCD nato, ang diri man gud is gidiretso wala na niya ano niya dire, okay? Wala na niya ni gihimong single term, pero sa inyong kuan is dapat ma single term ninyo ni. So in this case, gidiretso na niya og gidiretso na niya og solve to the x natin. Okay? Kay find the value of x man ni siya. Okay? Find the value of x. Okay? So, daghan magay paraan how to get the value of x. So, inigtanaw na mo ana kung tama inyong process and we consider that as correct. But sometimes if you do some makalibog na mga solutions, so dili na siya pwede. So, we will have multiply this one. So, cancel natin kasi we will have over 1. So, makancel ni siya, makancel ni siya, makancel ni siya, makancel, and then we have makancel ni siya. So, magiging gana na. So, ang nabilin, doon na makancel x minus 3, and then kanina nabilin is 1, and then sa diare. So, pag multiply diare, ang nabilin is, pag times diare, ang nabilin is x minus 5 na lang. Kasi pag multiply natin per term ni siya. So, pag multiply ani, kanina cancel lang duwa. Next ani is x minus 5 na lang ang nabilin, kaya na-cancel naman ng x plus 5. Pag multiply na po dire is, ang na-cancel is x minus 5, so ang mabilin kay x plus 5 na lang. So, that is x plus 5 times 1, that is x minus 5 dire And then dire is ang nabilin is x minus 5, so x plus 5 times 1, that is x plus 5. Then solve for x. So magiging ano na tayo, x minus 1, so simplify. So magiging ganun siya. So distribute lang natin. So magiging x minus 5, and then we have x plus 5. And then combine like terms. So tanang x ibutang diari sa left side. So x plus x, and then transpose minus x is equal to 5. Transpose nato ng 5 magiging plus 5, and then transpose nato ng negative 3 magiging positive 3. So, cancel ni siya. X minus x, that is 0. So, x na lang ang mabilin. And then, 5 plus 5 plus 3, that is 13. So, x is equal to 13. Okay, number 2. So, ganyan natin ha. So, we will have LCD natin sa dalawa. So, ang LCD nato is, we will have, ayan siya, 7 times x squared minus 8. So, multiplied natin ang term, ayan. So, pag multiplied natin diri ang makancel is kanilang. So, ang mabilin, 7. So, 7 times 4, that is 28, is equal to, pag multiply natin dito, ang makancel is 7 lang. Ang mabilin is x squared minus 8. times 1. So that is 1 times x squared minus 8. And then we will have 28 is equal to, multiply natin to, distribute, that is x squared, and then minus 8. So, tanang x, ibalhin diri sa pikas. So, negative x squared is equal to negative 8 minus 28. Then, dapat dili ni mag-negative. So, multiplied by negative 1. So, maging x squared is equal to, we have positive 8 plus 28. So, magiging x squared is equal to 28 plus 8, that is 36. X squared man siya, so extract natin ang square root. Extract natin square root. So, cancel. Ang mabilin is x is equal to, the square root of 36 is positive negative of 6. So, this is the answer. Okay? So, we have next example, we will have solving inequalities. So, 5x over x minus 1 less than 4. So, same lang gyapon og concept sa ating rational equation. So, diri na to. 5x, para makita niyo yun sa pag-solve, over x minus 1 less than 4. So, ang LCD natin is just x minus 1. So, multiply natin x minus 1. We have 5x over x minus 1 less than 4. Ayan. So, pag multiply di are, so cancel, ang mabilin is 5x less than. Multiply natin, wala may makancel. So, multiply lang natin 4 times x minus 1. And then we have 5x less than, distribute natin. So, 4 times x is 4x. 4 times negative 1, that is minus 4. Transpose natin yung x dito. 5x minus 4x less than negative 4. So, 5x minus 4x, that is x. And then we have less than negative 4. So, that's it. So, sa rational inequalities manggod, for example, this is the answer. Okay. Sa rational manggod, rational equation natin is magiging wrong ni siya if we are dealing nga atong i-direct. Okay? So, kung inganiyon nato siya pag solve, this x less than negative 4 is not correct to solve the value of x. Because in rational inequalities, we are dealing with rational because magiging 0 ito siya. So, pag ganyan na natin, may mga functions or may mga expression natin na hindi tama yung value ng x. So, this is not correct if we are dealing this. Okay? Kung ito yung sundin natin. Sa solving for inequalities, so dapat ito yon, may apat na steps ang ating gagawin. First, rewrite the equation in 0 on the one side. So dapat is tanang term is ibutang di ari sa left side, and then inequality na to na sign, and then 0 ang right side. Okay? So, ibalhin nato ni. So, magiging negative 4. Ayan siya. Then, LCD. So, ang quantum LCD ani. Okay, 5. Ayaw ninyo ni sunda. This is wrong. Okay? Ako lang ipakita kay basin. Og na mo solve mo yung ani. Ako ipakita nga mali ni siya. Okay? So, 5x over x minus 1 minus 4. So, ang LCD ana is x minus 1. X minus 1 divided by x minus 1, that is 1 times 5x, that is 5x. Okay, over 1 is siya, ay imaginary nga 1 na diha. X minus 1 divided by 1, that is x minus 1 times 4 minus 4 times x minus 1. And then, i-simplify natin 5x. Negative 4 minus x, times x is negative 4x. Negative 4 times negative 1, positive 4. Over x minus 1. So, that's why nagiging ganyan siya. Okay? So, we will have, ano siya? X minus 1 pala to. So, negative 4 times negative 1, that is positive 4 pala. Bakit 5 ang nalagay ko? Okay? So, we will have to simplify this one. So, 5x minus 4x, that is x plus 4. So, this is our step number 1. Step number 2, you are going to find the 0 and then the undefined. So, unsa ning 0, sir? Ang kanang 0, mangita kag value nga x, nga mahimong 0 ang numerator. So, ang numerator nato is x plus 4. So, unsa may makapa-0 ani? So, ato siyang i-equate to 0. X is equal to atong ibalhin magiging negative 4. So, ang ato ang 0 is x is equal to negative 4. Unsay maka-undefined? So, i-equate natin ang denominator to 0. Kay kung ang denominator nato magiging 0, that's the time the equation become undefined. So, x minus 1 is equal to 0. So, x is equal to transpose natin magiging 1. So, ang maka-undefined nato sa expression is x is equal to 1. Okay, sa ato ang letter C, atong ikatulong nga step is construct a table of signs to determine the sign of the function in each interval determined by the values above. So, kato yung mga values kaniya. So, di ba, ato ang 0 is negative 4 to siya, and then ato ang maka-undefined is positive 1. So, ato siyang i-arrange ang mga values nato. So, pag ma-arrange na nato, ang dire nato sa left side is negative and then up to positive sa right side. So, pag na-arrange na nato, is ato siyang ibutang diari. Sa atong interval, butang nato x less than negative 4 nga values. So, mag-try tag mga values nga less than to negative 4, like negative 3, negative 5, negative 6, negative 8. So, ang less than sa negative 4. And then, mukuha po tag values nga in between. So, we will have x greater than, okay, dako siya sa negative 4, but less than 1. Pero mas gamay sa 1. So, nara siya in between ani nga values. So, and then, ang last one is x greater than 1. So, kung ang pagtanaw ninyo sa equation is daghan siya og zeros and daghan pud siya. For example, ang zeros is negative 2 and then negative 1. And then, ang maka-undefined pud is butang na to is 0 o 3. So, pag butang ninyo ana, medyo daghan na inyong butang kay butang nyo x less than negative 2. Then, magbutang na po kag nasa tunga ani. So, we will have x greater than negative 2 but less than negative 1. And then, magbutang na po ka di ari og nasa tunga ani. We will have x is greater than negative 1 but less than 0. And then magbutang na po kag interval ani, we will have x greater than 0 but less than 3. And then the last one is x greater than 3. So ang imong column di ari is magiging 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So kani di ari is tulo ra ka column. Kung inani siya ang given nga zeros ug maka-undefined, so mo ni 5 ang imong i-column. Okay? Sa test point, unsa ni siya pagkuha sa test point is dire nyo magbasihan. So x, mangita ka og miskan unsa nga value ha, basta muhaom di ari sa tuang interval. For example, dire x less than negative 4. So mangita kag value or any value nga less than sa negative 4. So negative 5. Pwede negative 100, negative, basta less than negative 4. Basta dire haom sa ipangayo dire nang naa sa interval. So for dere, we will use negative 5 kay less than sa negative 4 man ang negative 5. And then di ari unsay pwede na to di ari value negative 4 nasa tunga-tunga sa negative 4 pero mas gamay sa 1, mas dako sa negative 4 pero mas gamay sa 1. So pwede natin sana dere is pwede natin negative 2 unta, pwede po negative 1, pwede po siya 0. So we use 0. And then the array greater than 1, so pwede natin 2 gawin. So, sa inyong pagpili sa test point, choose a number nga mas gamay lang, no? Kay para inig gamito na to unya, dili ta mag kapuliki og solve. Okay, and then the array the array is ibutang na to tong numerator, denominator, og katong tanan. Okay, sa expression natin, balikan nato to. Nara siya. Kani siyang last part. So, we will have numerator, denominator, and then katong tanan. Okay? So, per, ano siya, per expression. Kasi, pag siya x plus 1 times x minus 1 over x plus 3, for example, nga na siya. So, bali, kani siya is isa na siya ka butang dire, kani siya isa ibutang dire, tapos mag-add na po kag isa ka row na ibutang ni, and then na, ang ikaapat is kanitanan. So, anaon siya. So, saan ni siya pag solve, sir? Okay. Dirita, nata x, when x is equal to negative 5, substitute nato diari. So, negative 5 plus 4. So, ang answer nato is na negative 1. So, ibutan nato negative. Kung unsa man ang answer, katulang sign ang ikopya. For example, dere, x minus 1 when x is equal to negative 5. So, negative 5 minus 1, that is negative 6. So, negative. So, negative divided by negative, that is positive. Dere. Okay, di arita. We will have, when x is equal to 0, 0 plus 4, that is positive 4. So, that is positive. And then, we will have 0, x minus, 0 minus 1, that is negative 1, so negative. So, we have positive divided by negative, that is negative. The array we will have when x is equal to 2, so 2 plus 4, that is positive 6, that is positive. When x is equal to 2, so 2 minus 1, that is positive 1, that is positive. So, the positive divided by positive, that is positive. So, atong kuhaon, ang the solution nato is, ang positive lang. So, we will use this one. The solution set is muni ang answer. Okay. Dili na nata mo gina-required to use this one. Pero dapat naunta ni. Pero sa pang-check nato is dapat wala na ako consider. So, we will use this one lang kutob. Okay? Pero explain ako niya. Ang anong kailangan ni. The array is x, the set of x is an element of a real number such that x, kani siya, kanilang inyong kopyahon, diretso. X, katong positive lang ha. So, kung positive, positive, so muna ang solution, kani o ang kana, muna ang solution. So, x less than negative 4, and then, or, pag duha ka book, or lang ha, ayaw ikama, or lang, ang ibutang. Kung isa lang, isa lang siya. Or, x greater than 1. The array, this is a number line representation or the graph representation. So, or the, ano natin, graphing representation of this solution set. So, we will have, bangag na siya kay wala man siya equal sign sa ubos, okay? Pag nasa equal sign, use this one. Ayan. Kung ibulit natin yan. Pero kay wala man, so, we will use bangag lang siya. Okay? So, negative 4 and then positive 1. And then, ato na siyang i-darken di ari kay mo ni ang mga values nga na-swap di ari. Okay. So, next is, ano siya? So, kabalo na mo. So, first is side natin. So, ito yung mga rewrite natin. So, ito siya. So, kabalo na mo sa siya pagkuha diya. And then, ang expression is 2x. Ang sa'yo makapa-0 sa numerator. So, 2x plus 5 is equal to 0. Transpose natin. 2x is equal to negative 5 divided by 2 divided by 2. Then, we will have x is equal to negative 5 over 2. Ito siya. And then, ang makapa-0 is duha ka buok. Duha man ka parenthesis diari. So, dapat duha inyong answer. So, we will have 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. Wala na siya. 2x is equal to, transpose natin magiging positive 1, and then 2 to magiging x is equal to 1 half. Ito siya. Ang isa is x plus 1 is equal to 0, and then we have x is equal to negative 1. Ito siya. Okay, so tulo ka buk ato ang mga values di ari sa ato ang rational expression. Makapa 0 o makapa undefined. So, pag-construct natin, ito nang sasabihin ko, arrange natin yon. We will have negative 5 over 2, that is 2 point, di ba? Negative 2 point something, 2.5. Ano pa yon? So, positive 1 over 2, and then negative. So, next, ana is negative 1, and then we have positive 1 over 2. Oh. After ma-arrange natin, pagbutang di ari sa test point is kaning dire, less than ana. So, x less than ani. And the next is kanang nasa tunga-tunga ani. So just simply copy this one Then ibutang lang nato ni kani nga value o kani nga value para mas dali ninyo. The next is nasa tunga-tunga ana, we will have you copy this one and then ibutang nato ang value nga naa dire and then value nga naa di are. Then lastly is katong greater than ani nga value. So x greater than 1/2. Sa test point, so less than negative 5 over 3, we'll use negative 3. Nasa tunga-tunga sa negative 2.5, 2.5 man ni. And then negative 1 is, that is, pwede na ito gamiton negative 2. And then tunga-tunga sa negative 1 o positive 1/2, pwede na ito gamiton ng 0. And then we will have x greater than 1/2 is, pwede ito gamiton ang positive 1. And then di ari sa test point natin, di ba? Ito yung sa left expression natin. So 2x plus 5 ito. Then 2x minus 1 ito and then x plus 1 ito. So tulo ka column ang ato ang kailangan and then mag-add tag another row pala. Another row na kato yung itong lahat nga expression. Okay? So isasawa na to. When x is equal to negative 3, substitute natin dito. So 2 times negative 3 plus 5 is equal to 2 times negative 3, that is negative 6 plus 5, that is negative 1. So negative. Substitute lang nato diha. So ang answer na is negative. Substitute lang nato diha, so negative na siya. So we will have, ito siya. Sundon nato ni siya. So negative ni siya. And then negative times negative, this is positive ang denominator na. So positive ay negative divided by positive, that is negative. Okay? So ayan siya. And the next is when x is equal to 2, ito. So 2x plus 5 positive, x plus 1 negative. Kamo na yung bahala og solve ha. Kasi na-explain naman ako to ganiha. Then 2x minus 1 is negative. Then negative times negative, di ari negative kay sundo na to ning nasa ubos. Negative times negative, that is positive. So positive divided by positive, that is positive. And then so on and so forth. Okay? So just simply substitute the values along with this one. Okay? So pangitaw na to ang nagpositive lang ito at ito. So just copy the solution set of inequalities given by the set of x is an element of a real number such that i-copy lang ninyo ni kani siya. We will have x greater than or equal to parang pwede equal to greater than 2, pero ano man siya, 'di ba kailangan nato o greater than or equal to, nganong naman siya negative, ano natin sir, naman siya ay equal to. So magiging equal to lang na siya if we are dealing this object, okay? Pero tama man pud siya kung kanilang atong kopyahaw na dire, so that is considered. Naman gud siya another factor nga ma-consider nato nganong equal to ni siya di ari, okay? So consider less than or equal to. And then we will have this one, greater than or 1/2. And then di ari, so nagbulit lang siya di ari kaysa negative 5 over 2 kay naman siya equal sign sa ubos. Okay, next is the representation of rational functions. So, parehara ni sa ako ang gi-explain ganiha primero. So, if this is our independent, this is also our dependent natin. So, we will have just simply substitute this to the function. So, 2 divided by negative 2 minus 3. So, that is the answer is negative 1/3 and so on and so forth. So, kaning x naton is muna siya to ang i-substitute lang diari sa tong variable and then solve for that. And then sa f of x, ang answer ato is that is for our f of x. Okay? Then we will have representations. This is not finding the domain and range. Okay? So for example, diari na to is find the domain. So muna ito kung find the domain is just simply equate the denominator into equate the denominator to 0. So we will have x is equal to ay x squared na ha, x squared is equal to 0. So that is x is 0. So therefore, our domain is x is an element of a real number such that x is not equal to 0. So dapat na ay not diri nakabutang if we are dealing with a domain. Kung sa domain na to. So kung sa may ang answer na to equate na to 0 sa denominator, dapat ang answer ibutang di are and then agi ni siya ay not equal to. Unsa man tong answer dito pag equate. And then sa range na to is we use f of x is equal to y and then uh, we will have function of 2x minus 3 over x squared. So, na di are to get the real numbers. So, magamit ta og quadratic equations to find the value of this one. To find a is equal to y kasi magiging separate na pod nato ni siyang variable. So, dalawang variable natin. So, gagamitin natin yung quadratic equations. And then, pag makuha na siya, therefore, that is our value of range natin. So wala na mo gilabot ang range sa inyong answer sheets kasi medyo naasay daghan kay nga mga factors o medyo deeper na to sa math ng mga concepts. So ang need lang nga basic kaayo is kailangan ang finding the domain. Sa range medyo daghan og rules nga i-considered nato, okay? So pag abot diri sa pikas kung ingani ang given, so natay rule nga gamiton, and then natay tan-awon nga mga substitutions or mga other rules po sa mathematics that you are going to apply in that specific or a particular problem. But in your module, you are going to answer only find the domain na, no? So wag nang i-include ang finding the range. Okay? For example, this one, find the range. Find the domain this one. So, equate natin, x is equal, plus 1 is equal to, equate natin to 0. X is equal to, transpose natin maging negative 1. So, ang domain natin is the set of x is an element of a real number such that x is not equal to, kung sa may answer, so negative 1. So, that is the answer. Okay? Sa ating intercept, zeros, and asymptotes, ito yon. So, kung domain, ayan. So, function set of x can take. And then, sa range natin, set of values that f of x will take also. And then, sa zeros natin, is yung ano yung zeros natin. For example, x plus 5 times x minus 5. So, ang mga zeros natin dyan is x is equal to negative 5 and then x is equal to positive 5. So, muna ito ang zeros natin. Okay? And then we will have the x-intercept and then the y-intercept. And then we also have the vertical asymptote and then horizontal asymptote. So, kailangan sa inyong module 2 is wala ni siya na appeal nga muna ni akong gingon ganiha. So wala ni sa inyong module 2 answer sheet. Nani sa module 3 and 4 answer sheet number 1 man yata ni siya sa inyong answer sheet. So dapat please maminaw mo og tarong diari or studyhi maayo, okay? Isulod jud. Okay? Sa finding sa domain natin okay to. Okay, wala sa namo gi-include ang range. Sa zeros natin mamaya, okay, sa examples. Okay, direta. Complete the table. Okay. For example, 3 f of x is equal to 3 minus x over x plus 1. So, zeros natin is just simply let ano to, yung x natin is zeros of a functions are values of x which make the function 0. So, ato siyang f of x is equal to 0. Okay? So, 0 natin. So, magiging 3 minus x over x plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay? And then we will have 0 ni siya. Or we will have 3 minus x is equal to 0. And then we will have transpose natin x is equal to negative 3. Transpose natin dito. And then we will have negative, bawal mag-negative. So we have multiply negative 1, magiging x is equal to positive 3. So the answer of this one, the zeros, is positive 3. Sa y-intercept na naman is, ano yun lang siya. So diriha, let f of x is equal to 0. The other is let x is equal to 0. So we will have the y is equal to 3 minus 0 over x plus 1. And then we will have, sorry. Balik ko na to. Sorry. Ang kani di ay siya is, okay. Ang kani siya is, direct na sa x-intercept. Let x is equal, f of x is equal to 0. That's the x-intercept pala. So, dire ng 3 natin. And then, sa y-intercept, let x is equal to 0. So, kani siyang na-solving ha, again, dire ni sa x-intercept. Sorry. And then, sa ating y-intercept, so, let na nato ang x is equal to 0. So, x ni siya. So, we have 3 minus 0 over 0 plus 1. This is 3 over 1 is equal to 3. So, this is also 3. And then, sa zeros natin, ato makita nato siyang x natin is, we will have x which makes the function 0. So, unsa daw ang makapa-0? Now, ato siyang tanawon di ari sa 3 minus x. So, i-equate lang nato ang numerator nga expression into 0. So, ang numerator nato express to, equate to 0. So, numerator nato is 3 minus x is equal to 0. So, negative x is equal to negative 3. And then we will have negative 1. And then that is x is equal to positive 3. So, this is 3 also. So, again, sa zeros is unsa ang makapa-0 sa numerator. Unsay value sa x nga mahimong 0 ang numerator. Sa y-intercept, ilet na lang nato ang x is equal to 0. So, substitute nato ang tanan nga x og 0. Then, ang answer mo na atong y-intercept. And then, sa atong x-intercept is magiging unsa ang ilet nato ang f of x is equal to 0. Then, compute the value of x. So, equate natin ang expression is equal to 0. Sa horizontal asymptote, diri sa vertical. Sa vertical asymptote pala, balikan nato diari. The vertical asymptote here is, if this value of does not make the numerator 0, then the line x is equal to a is a vertical asymptote. So, there is a vertical asymptote is unsa ang makapa-0 sa denominator nga dili makapa-0 sa numerator. Again, unsa ang makapa-0 sa denominator nga expression nga dili makapa-0 sa numerator. So, i-equate lang nato atong denominator to 0. X is equal, x plus 1 equate to 0, that is 0. X is equal to, transpose natin sa negative 1. So, this is x is equal to negative 1. Pag daghan siya expression, therefore, daghan po tag vertical asymptote sa ubos. Kung sa denominator daghan. Sa horizontal asymptote is, dara siya. I-let na to ang n be a degree sa numerator. For example, x squared plus 1 over x cubed plus 3. Yan po na. So, i-let na to ang n be the largest or the highest exponent natin. So, n is equal to 2. Kaya 2 man ang pinaka-highest diri sa babaw na exponent. And then, let na to ang m be the highest exponent sa denominator. So, m is equal to, we have 3. And then, diri na nato nga rule. If n, pag ang degree sa numerator gamay kaysa denominator, automatically ang horizontal asymptote is y o is equal to 0. In this case, diretso tag y is equal to 0 ang horizontal. Kay mas gamay man ang numerator sa denominator. Okay? N is equal to 2 and m is equal to 3. And then pag pareha gani sila, okay, pag nyo says x squared plus 1 over x squared plus 3. Therefore, pareha sila og highest exponent. Therefore, we will use y is equal to AB. Kung sa maning A divided by B. Ang A is a leading coefficient here, which is 1. 1 man automatically. And then, ang B sa denominator, 1 man pod. This is 1. So, that is y is equal to 1. Another thing na na siya coefficient. So, for example, x squared ay 3x squared minus 3 over 5x squared plus 1. So, y is equal to AB, kapareha man sila exponent. I is exponent, pareha man sila. Y is equal to A over B. And then, ang coefficient sa numerator, which is 3, leading coefficient is 3. And then, leading coefficient sa denominator, which is 5. So, that is y is equal to 3 over 5. So, muna siya ang pagkuha. And then, for example, natay x cubed plus 3 over x squared plus 1. So, ang n natin is 3. Ang m natin is 2. Pag dako gani ang highest exponent sa babaw kaysa ubos, therefore, ang inyong answer automatically no horizontal asymptote. Okay, dirita, horizontal asymptote diari. So, we have x, n natin diri is 1, ang m natin is 1 pod. So, same raman siya. So, we use y is equal to a over b is equal to leading coefficient niya is negative 1. And then sa ubos is positive 1. Then negative 1 divided by 1, that is negative 1. Okay? Number 2, ito ta. So, makapa-0, equate lang natin ang numerator to 0. So, x minus 1 is equal to 0. That is x is equal to positive 1. This is 1. Y-intercept, let x is equal to 0. So, is x minus 1, x plus 5. 0 minus 1 over 0 plus 5. This is negative 1 over 5. This is negative 1 over 5. So, negative 1 over 5. Dere, quit lang natin 0. So, x minus 1, x plus 5 is equal to 0. Cross multiply natin. So, magiging x minus 1 is equal to 0. And then, we will have x is equal to positive 1. So, positive 1. So, horizontal asymptote y is equal to AB tayo. Kasi, pareha mag sila highest exponent. Ang babaw is, ang coefficient is 1 over 1 is equal to 1. Okay, sa VA natin, sa vertical asymptote, makapa-0 sa denominator pero dili makapa-0. So, we have x plus 5 is equal to 0. X is equal to negative 5. So, this is negative 5. Number 3, so we will have zeros and then 3, 0. This is 0 kasi 3x is equal to 0. So, that is 0. 3x is equal to 0. So, negative 3, negative 3x is equal to 0. So, makapa-0 sa numerator, we have x squared minus 25 magiging, ano man yan? Magiging x plus 5 times x minus 5. So, dalawa. So, we will have, so, y-intercept natin is, sa y-intercept muna. So, 0 po ni siya. Kaya kung ilet na to ni x is equal to 0, so 0 numerator divided by any number, that is 0. Sa x-intercept pa din, so 0 din siya. And then sa ating, automatically, kay 3x man 0. Sa ating y-intercept, so we will have y is equal to 0. Kay mas dako man ang ilalom kay sa gamay. Gamay man ang babaw kaysa ilalom. And the vertical asymptote, we will have 3, makapa-0 sa denominator. So, ito na siya, x plus 5 times x minus 5. So, dalawa. We have x is equal to negative 5 and then x is equal to positive 5. Okay? Sige. So, we will have, okay, thank you see you on the next module.